Welcome to this video today, which is all about one of the greatest investors of all time. Her name was Hetty Green, yet very few traders have ever even heard of her. Now, she was around the turn of the 20th century, the same time as Jesse Livermore. And you'll often hear people say Jesse Livermore was the world's greatest ever speculator. So how does Hetty Green compare with him? There is no comparison. Hetty Green made $200 million more. Even if you put her up against today's investors, and I'm sure regular viewers will know, three of my favourite traders are George Soros, Paul Tudor Jones and Ed Seykota. Now, they've all made big amounts of money. Hetty made more than all three combined. She's up there with Warren Buffett. Now, there's two key lessons that any Forex trader, or any investor for that matter, can learn from her. I'm just going to go through them in a moment when we discuss her life and trading. Now, in terms of what I want to do, first of all, just do a quick comparison between her and Warren Buffett, and also a quote from a newspaper about her, which actually makes her one of the strangest successful investors ever. It was to do with her lifestyle. So let's have a look at this quick comparison with Warren Buffett and the quote, and then we'll be back to discuss in more detail. I'll come back after that short comparison there between Warren Buffett and Hetty Green. Her performance was extraordinary. What makes it even more extraordinary, it was done at a time when women didn't even have the vote. In terms of Hetty, she was very much a woman in a man's world. Many men thought they could get the better of her. Very few did. She was an absolutely fearsome lady to cross. Now, in terms of her investment performance, it stands up there with anyone in my view. However, what is she remembered for? She's not remembered as a great investor at all. If you look in the Guinness Book of Records, she's remembered as the world's greatest miser. And you probably gathered that she was a little bit careful with her money from that quote from the newspaper. She used to buy her clothes and say they should last her 10 years so she could get her money's worth. She did look like a down and out, although she kind of took more pride in her appearance, let's say, as she got older. But she was so tight. Good example is she used to buy a newspaper on her way to work. When she'd finished reading it, she'd go on the street, sell it for half price. She was renowned for living in tatty, run-down apartments. She was always reluctant to turn the heating on in case she wasted money. Now, I think she probably is, the world's most careful person with money. So maybe she deserves that insert in the Guinness Book of Records. But yeah, she was eccentric. She was a Quaker. Her whole life was just devoted to making money. Now, she actually had a real passion for investing. She started to learn about financial markets when she was 6. She used to read the financial press to her grandfather. By the time she was 13, the family entrusted her with the accounts of the business, which was a substantial whaling business. And when she was 15, she made her first investments, but she only really got full-time into it, so to speak, when she was in her early 30s. She inherited, I think it was $1 million, and put it to work. And what you can learn from Hetty Green, in my view as a Forex trader, is get rich slowly. Now, Hetty Green was very much into compound growth, okay? And I always think Forex traders are in too much of a hurry to make money. You often hear traders say, yeah, when I've doubled my money, I'm going to start trading for a living. That shouldn't be too long away. All this sort of stuff. It's all complete nonsense, okay? You've got to be realistic in, the amount of money that you can make at Forex trading. Now, I do know many traders who can make 50% per annum. And when I've said this to people, I've said, talking about the potential of how much money you can make, a lot of people are really disappointed. Well, let's put it this way. If you made 50% per annum on $10,000, in 10 years, you'd have 600,000. Money makes money. Great thing about Forex trading is you don't have to work harder as you make more money, do you? You still put in the same effort, but your money makes money. So I always think the thing to do is be realistic and focus on the long term. And in terms of Hetty Green, she was only looking to make single digit gains, so just below 10%. But look how much her initial stake made her. A huge fortune. Now, obviously, this was in a pre-income tax world, without so much inflation and so forth. She was just happy with the amount that she made each year. It's a specific target to do. She always achieved it. And the other thing I think anyone can learn from Hetty Green is know when to quit a trade. She would always, if she had an investment, there would be a price she had in mind, she would sell. She didn't care if it went further to the upside. She was out. She achieved what she'd got. She'd move on to the next investment. I think, a lot of Forex traders, kind of fall in love with pairs when they're doing well. They won't get out, or they double up. They end up giving all their profits back. And I think, that's a major problem for all traders. I mean, I have it as well. I find it far easier taking losses than I do holding on to my profits. I very often, though, have a specific target. Once I've reached it, I'm out, I'm off somewhere else. I don't care if it runs on. I've said it before. Be happy with what you got. If you got what you wanted, that's it. There's no need to regret. And I think, in terms of Hetty Green, she was the master of it. She hardly had any drawdown or bad investments either. The only bad investments that she had were those that her husband meddled in. And eventually, because he did this, she eventually just basically threw him out. Now, in terms of Hetty Green, she was one of the first people really to be a contrarian. She used to love a panic. She said, when shares fall and everyone wants to get out, she'll buy in. She called it harvest time. And she just made a lot of money, okay? Now, in terms of, Hetty Green, I think, a lot of people say she isn't relevant to investing today. I just personally think that she is. I just find her performance extraordinary. I've read 3 books on her, 3 autobiographies. Very good, very interesting read as well, because you can see that she's around at the time of the real birth of financial markets, and the things that happened that happened then still happen today, like for example the government pumping money into the economy, like quantitative easing. Got some quotes from Hetty later on. She gives her opinion on QE, which I totally agree with. She's got some fantastic quotes. A few of them actually made me laugh out loud. Now, in terms of Hetty Green, she could have actually have made more money than she did. She actually refused to have too big an exposure, which I think most traders could learn from. She's very much like Warren Buffett. I think Warren Buffett said we always keep 80 billion in cash. Hetty was very much the same. Half her money was always in cash. When she did a lot of her investments, she was a very ethical lady in terms she never ripped anyone off unless she had a grudge against them. She did have a grudge against a few people. But for example, the city of New York went bust. Hetty lent them the money at a very reasonable rate. When JP Morgan had to put a bailout fund together for the banks, Hetty contributed a substantial amount of money. Again, the rate of interest was really reasonable. Also, she would never get involved in insider trading or bear raids, heavy short selling of stocks that used to go on, which Jesse Livermore would be involved in, for example, Ben Selim Smith, all those colourful characters who just basically, financial regulators actually had to come in and basically control them. Hetty was never involved in any of those dubious tactics. She had the money to do it if she wanted to. She just refused to do it. Now, I think, in terms of Hetty Green, it's a really interesting story. If you go and read her biography, it's really, really good. And I think, at the time, people really disliked her. Actually, when I first read about her, I thought she'd be a really dislikable character until I read the autobiographies on her. She was actually quite a nice lady. Okay, she was eccentric, but she could be kind. She never cheated. She was always ethical. Very interesting lady, and for me, one of the great traders of all time. Now, I'm going to finish up with my favourite quotes from Hetty, and if anyone can tell me what she means by the last quote, please email me, because I have no clue. Right, here are the quotes, and I hope you enjoy them.